Neighborhood kids thronged to the Sammons driveway just to ride pogo sticks with Nana or to seek her relationship advice. During their teenage years in Huntington Beach, Nana loved taking her three daughters, Marion, Cheryl, and Kim, and their friends on evening joyrides, which she called cruising for dudes. Apparently they had handmade signs they'd wave at worthy boys. The one Nana liked said, "You're cute." And they really needed these signs since the stereo was sometimes so loud that no one could have heard them had they been speaking. Nana was a magnet, not only for her girls, but for their friends. She broke convention, discussed things others wouldn't, and made herself the person in whom everyone could confide. Lisa, one of the girls' childhood friends, recently recalled some of Nana's dating advice. Don't always be available. Make them think you're busy or on another date. And most of all, don't give it up until marriage. Or, as my cousin remembers her saying, why buy the cow when you can have the milk for free? Nana was the same way as a grandmother to her 7 grandchildren and now 7 great-grandchildren. I think her humor became naughtier as she adapted to having so many boys in the family. She was still the cool one who said things others wouldn't dare. If you want examples, ask any of the grandkids about her lesson on the key to a happy marriage. Ask Aunt Peggy what Nana began calling her purse a few years back. Or ask my mom about the trick they laughingly imagined playing on Nana's nurses just last week. She did things grandmas aren't supposed to do. She didn't drink alcohol or use tobacco, but 2 of my fondest memories with her include racing to the bottom of our champagne glasses at Ryan's wedding. She won. And chewing loose leaf tobacco in memory of Papa's brother, Arthur. Yeah, I chewed tobacco with my outwardly prim, proper, definitely Protestant 80-year-old grandmother. Nana's actions and her comments broke norms. They shattered norms, and they allowed her to transcend the traditional grandmother-grandchild relationship. Her willingness to be a rebel by discussing the taboo gave us the feeling that we could talk to her about anything, which actually empowered her to double down on the big moral issues when the time was right. She joked about sex, and I took her seriously when she told me that I lacked respect for the opposite woman. She broke the small rules so she could reinforce the big ones. It was like a crafty superpower from God. And it didn't matter what we shared with her. No matter how embarrassed or how proud we were, she would at some point direct the conversation back to faith, back to the Lord. And this is the final hallmark of her life. She spent her last coherent day shouting about the Lord, thanking Him for helping her find peace, especially, I think, with the extended family. She said she had no pain. She said she had a meeting in the sky. The mystery of death, famously described in Hamlet as undiscovered country, was no mystery to her. She knew where she was going, who would be there, and that one day all of us will be there with her. She had no doubt, and I have no doubt, that if she could have any 2 wishes, they'd be these. First, she'd wish that we all remain close. Maybe that we become closer than ever, or even jumpstart the old Hanshaw family summer party. Second, she'd want a promise from each of us that we'll be ready when the time comes to picnic with her in heaven. Actually, let me add a third. She'd want us to keep Pop out of trouble, to bail him out when he's jailed for hunting bear in the Santa Ana Zoo. In closing, I'd like to read a quote that I keep framed in my classroom, which is strange because I tell my students that quoting signals lack of imagination. Nevertheless, to me, Nana embodied these words. taken from Jack Kerouac's novel On the Road, and so I feel obligated to read them to you. The only people for me are the mad ones. The ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved, desirous of everything at the same time. The ones who never yawn or say a commonplace thing, but burn, 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 like fabulous yellow Roman candles exploding across the stars. And in the middle, you see the blue center light pop, and everybody goes, ah. Nana was one of the mad ones. And even when she could hardly walk, she showed us all how to live. And so, forever with awe, Nana, that's how we remember you. Forever in awe of a life well